A new, refreshing drink for spring.
We've got it for you.
It's gonna start your day off right.
With Annie Lytle-Rich from Shelburne Falls Coffee Roasters. We're doing coffee, but we're doing it in a new way, perfect way for spring.
Yes, so what we're going to be doing here is we're going to make iced coffee, but we're going to use a cold brew extraction method, which is really easy. It's the easiest thing I think I've done here before.
Right.
And we're going to use the French press again. And so what we're going to do is we are going to make an iced coffee. And all we're going to use is
some coffee grounds.
Yep, some 2/3 coffee grounds, and you want to grind it coarse.
I noticed that. Yeah, let's see if we can get a good shot of this.
It actually looks like instant coffee almost. Because it looks like it's...
Yeah,
but it's not instant coffee.
No,
but it's not. No, it's
but
not.
It's ground up fine. I think that's important.
The other way.
Or, I'm
it's
sorry,
coarse.
ground up coarse.
It's very important that
Big
it's coarse.
chunks.
Big chunks of it. And then what I'm using here is a toasted coconut cream coffee because it's summer. Well, it's not summer yet, but I like to think that it's summer.
No, summer right here.
No, I'm all about the coconut.
Right here,
So I want
All
to make
about
something
it.
tropical to kind of like get me in the mood for it. And so this is our most popular coffee that we have in the store. So it's a toasted coconut cream. And so I've got 2/3 cup, and I'm going to put that into my French press. And if you don't have a French press, you can just use a bucket. In fact, in our stores, we just have big buckets that we use, and we just put a ton of coffee in a bucket.
But not the same bucket that you use to mop your floors.
No.
No, that's
those
important to
know.
know.
Those are clearly marked.
Don't use your mop bucket, everybody.
Wait, can you get like a bucket like I would get at like a hardware store?
Yeah, just any type of bucket. You can do a steel pot, you can do a bucket, anything that can hold both coffee grounds and cold water, because that's all we're going to use.
So
cool.
Use a French press. And this,
I'll show you when it comes. It's much as you use a French press. So then you pour your water.
And for people who don't know at home, you can do French press with hot coffee at home too, and basically you just let it simmer for a while, and then you push the plunger down.
Yep. And so the only difference here, so I put about 4 cups of water in. The only difference here is instead of waiting 4 minutes to put the plunger down, we're going to leave it overnight. And you're going to leave it for about 12 to 18 hours.
Are you going to leave it room temperature in your fridge?
It really doesn't matter. You can do room temperature. That's the easiest. It doesn't take up room in your fridge. So you just, before you go to bed, you put your coffee grounds in your water, and it's going to have a different extraction process with the cold water than with the hot water. It's not going to be as acidic. It's going to be very easy on your stomach. You're going to get an incredibly smooth flavor, and you're going to really taste the complexities of the coffee. And so this is a very popular method because you get a really wonderful taste. Where typically when people make iced coffee, they just kind of take hot coffee, cool it down, or pour it over ice, and you really don't get as good of a flavor profile that way.
It tastes more just like watery coffee.
Watery coffee, you get more of a burnt flavor. This is going to be an incredibly smooth, complex flavored coffee.
Like the truest form of a coffee, maybe like sampling a coffee, this might be the best way to do it.
Yeah, it probably would be actually.
All right.
Either that or, I mean, they have ways to sample coffees.
So 12 to 18 hours later, whether you're doing it in a French press or like Ashley's bucket method, then you just push the plunger down.
Yep, Ashley's bucket method. So I'm going to start calling it in the stores.
You should absolutely do
I'm going to put a big sign up. So then you just plunge it down.
But now what do I use for a plunger in my bucket?
Okay, so this is what we do in the stores, is we take a colander.
Yes, I have
and
one.
you either put a coffee filter or some sort of sieve, cheesecloth.
Cheesecloth, yeah.
Coffee filters work totally fine, and you just pour the coffee through the coffee filter, and then it's strained.
And then this is it.
And this is it. This is the whole process.
This is simple.
And people, like, if you go into lots of, our coffee shops, a lot of coffee shops, they have cold brew iced coffee, and there's a little mystery around it. And this is the whole process. It's really
uncovered the mystery.
I uncovered the mystery,
Can I try
and
a
I've
little
now
sip?
shown everyone. So I have this is what it'll look like when it's already done. Now, some people use this as a extract, and they add more water to it.
No thanks.
But if you have ice, it's going to melt in anyways,
Thank you
and it's going to even it out.
I can't wait to try it. Thank you. We'll be back with you for another drink a little bit later on the show.
Making chai tea a little bit later, so you don't want to miss that. We're back with Annie Lytle-Rich from Shelburne Falls Coffee Roasters. So earlier in the show, we made cold brewed iced coffee, but now we're making chai tea, and that's like a great alternative to coffee, right?
Yes, you have your coffee drinkers and your tea drinkers, and then your orange juice drinkers, but we're not covering them this
Not
time.
today, because that's easy. Step 1, open. Step 2, pour.
So what we're going to be making here is I'm going to show you how to make a chai tea at home. This is a really popular drink in all of our stores, and our secret is that we make a chai tea masala, which is different than when you go to the grocery store and you see like the chai tea bags. And you make it at home, and it doesn't taste anything like a chai that you would get at a coffee shop.
It's true.
So what the reason why is because people have their own masala mix, which is a combination of spices.
So it's like a concentrate.
It's like a
and then from there.
Well, no, actually, the masala is just the spices.
Okay.
And then you use the spices to make a concentrate.
Gotcha.
And then you take the concentrate and you do half concentrate and half milk.
Very cool.
And that's going to make the chai tea. So what we have here, and this I would like to say this is not the recipe we use in our stores,
No,
which is a
that's
signature special recipe
secret.
that I don't even have access to
I don't even
because
wanna know.
they were afraid this might happen. So which I would have just given it away. So key is to use fresh ground ginger.
Very
You
nice.
can use just ginger you buy at the grocery store, but it's much better with fresh ginger.
Okay.
We use black pepper. We've got cardamom seeds.
Okay.
And you can either just put these in whole to stew it, or you can crack them open. We've got cinnamon, we've got nutmeg, and we've got clove. And so you're going to take little bits, about an 1/8 of a teaspoon, so a very small amount of all of these. You're going to combine them with 2 cups of water.
Okay,
You're
so
gonna,
just start pouring them in?
Yep, you just put them all
May
in.
I?
You let them.
Or nah, we
I
probably
wouldn't
shouldn't.
even. I
'Cause we
mean,
need to-
normally you do it over a stove top, and so it would heat up and boil.
So we'd have this already.
So you would have this
pretty
done. So
warm.
you put it all in. As soon as it boils, you're going to put in 2 tablespoons of sugar.
Okay.
You're going to put in 2 tablespoons of a black tea, like a Darjeeling or an Assam is typically the traditional teas that are used. We use a Darjeeling, I can tell you that.
So it's but like a bulk loose leaf
Yeah,
tea.
you want a loose leaf tea. I mean, you can use the bag teas, but using the loose leaf is good. And you're going to strain it anyway, so you might as well splurge for the loose leaf.
And if you're getting into it, I can only imagine over time it's a little bit cheaper if you buy it in bulk.
Oh, yeah, if you buy it in bulk, it's definitely going to be cheaper.
Saves
Especially because, like I said, you'd strain it out. You
And
don't
you
have to
can
do
get
it in
better
bags.
tea too if you buy it in bulk.
It is, yeah, it's definitely
buy
a
loose leaf.
much higher quality. And then we also put in white pepper, and you have to be careful
White
because
pepper?
that is much spicier than black pepper.
Is it really?
Yes.
I'm gonna give
I
it a
would
little-
not.
little taste.
Yeah, you can do that.
That's got
Oh,
more
yeah.
of a kick to it.
It's got a kick to it,
That
so
is
you want to
accurate.
make sure that you put that in. And you're going to use teaspoons, not tablespoons. And so you're going to boil that out, and then you're going to let the tea steep for 5 minutes. That's why we don't put the tea in the beginning, because it's going to be way too strong and bitter.
I get you.
So we do that, and then what you're going to get is this Magic TV version.
All right.
Of
So this is
the chai
everything
mix. This
kind
is
of rolled into
everything
one.
rolled into one. I've done all of these things. I've strained. I know this looks like a lot, but it's really not that much. It's basically a lot of house. And you don't have to use all of these. Some people put orange peel in. Some people put vanilla beans in.
So it's whatever your taste
It's whatever you're
is.
into, but it's good to have a base of the peppers. It's good to have some spices.
It seems
and then
to
you
me-
can kind of make it on your own.
It seems to me like it's based off of like an Indian recipe. There's a lot
It
of
is an
Indian
Indian
spices.
recipe. Yep,
in it. Oh, okay.
yep, and chai is a traditional Indian drink, so that's
There we
why.
are. That's good guess.
Yes.
So we have then the base. So this
So
is
then we have the base.
This is the base and the concentrate more.
Yep, so this is the concentrate. And so what is traditionally mixed with is whole milk. And you can either drink this hot, but summer's coming up, so
you can drink
you
iced
do
chai
you can
tea?
do iced chai tea or hot chai tea. And they say that whole milk is better because of the fat content, extracts the spices just a little bit more.
Interesting.
And so it's better than skim or 2%.
Huh.
So we always recommend using whole milk. And then you do half chai,
Half chai and half milk.
half chai, and half milk.
So it's like I drink my coffee black, but you wouldn't want to drink this black
I
without
wouldn't.
milk, right?
No, I want it's sweet and it's thick. So you'd want to. People typically have the chai tea, and that's why people call it a chai tea latte.
Because of the milk.
'Cause of the milk.
That makes sense.
So you do about half and half,
And then we cheers.
and then you cheers. This is the traditional chai. The traditional chai cheers.
Chai cheers to you. Thanks for stopping by today. Let me try this. This is good.
Yeah, it's good. It's got a
is
nice
great.
kick to it.
Hey, thank you so much for stopping by today.
Thank you for having
This
me.
is surprisingly good. Hey, up next we're gonna